Hey everyone, welcome to my session. So in this presentation with me, I will talk about how to boost your sales in Indonesia with TikTok. And so it's going to be a very interesting insight about the Indonesian TikTok market, about how the people interact with TikTok here, about how you as a brand can conquer the Indonesian market with videos on TikTok here in Indonesia. So maybe before we talk about directly about how to boost your sales in Indonesia with TikTok, maybe we should get to know each other a little bit better. So my name is Rinaldi Francois. I am the co-founder of a TikTok agency here in Indonesia. I'm the creative director as well. And then I am a content creator on TikTok and on Instagram. I have 1 million followers on TikTok and about maybe 100 followers on Instagram. And talking about my TikTok portfolio, I started a business where the sales were 100% from TikTok for 3 months. So I sold like webinars and educational books, ebooks, and all the sales were 100% from TikTok for 3 months. And then I taught my friends and families to gain TikTok followers. One of my sister actually, she gained 200,000 followers on TikTok in just 2 days. And so that's my portfolio. I also have successfully made some other accounts became viral on TikTok. I made Tommy Things to reach 1 million, sorry, 1 million followers on TikTok. And then Aferaus with 150,000 followers on TikTok and Drum and Song at 100,000 followers on TikTok. Of course, as a creative director and co-founder of a TikTok agency, I've made countless brands go viral and gain followers basically. One of the brand that I handle this week just got about 3 million views and gained about 10,000 followers in just 1 month. And so that's the beauty and power of TikTok, I think. Like your growth can be very exponential. So now let's talk about let's talk about the TikTok usage in Indonesia. So Indonesia is surprisingly the second largest TikTok user by country. I mean, that wasn't so surprising actually living here in Indonesia. It seems like everybody uses and talks about TikTok. So Indonesia is actually just one place behind the USA, and we're the biggest Asian country that is using TikTok right now. Of course, not including China, because in China you have Douyin. I don't know how to say it, but yeah. But talking about TikTok, we're the second biggest player basically worldwide. So we have about 92 million users that are using TikTok in our country. So here are a few data about TikTok and in Indonesia. We are the biggest Southeast Asian country with the most users on TikTok. So if you maybe the Asian country with the most users on TikTok, I think. I mean, outside of China, of course. So if you want to chase Indonesian audience, you should just go to TikTok because you know that everyone is there and everyone is spending there. That's what's most important. You can see how we have 92 million users aged 19 and up in Indonesia. So these are the data for the adults 18 and up, not including the youngsters. I'm sure that if you include those who are below 18, the numbers will go high even more. And then this is what's really crucial for us as business owners. So 2 out of 5 internet users in Indonesia have downloaded TikTok on their phone. And that's how prominent TikTok is in Indonesia. So many people have downloaded TikTok on their phone and have experienced TikTok on their phone. And the last number is actually even more important to us as business owners. 7 out of 10 TikTok users have purchased something online in the last 7 days. So what that means is that if you pick the average TikTok user here in Indonesia, there's a very high chance that he or she have just purchased something online in the last 7 days. Maybe new shoes in the marketplace or new clothes, whatever it is. And that means that the people who are using TikTok in Indonesia are spending more than people who are on Instagram or other platforms. There's a new study that says that actually the people on TikTok are the ones who spend the most and spend most often compared to the audience in other platforms such as Instagram or YouTube. So that's really interesting. And that's really beneficial for us business owners as well. Here we have data about the active users' age in Indonesia. So of course, as you might have expected, we have a lot more audience on the younger side. We have about half from 10 to 30 years old. So we have a nickname for them, Gen Z, Generation Z, and millennials, young millennials. But of course, if your brand is still, if your brand is targeting older people, they're still on TikTok. It's just that in terms of proportion, they're not as much as the youngsters, but they still exist over there. And if you are targeting the elder generation, the more older people, of course you should still go to TikTok because the niche audience is there. And as time progresses, the people will get older basically, and then they will become your target market. So yeah, here's a little bit of insight about the active users age in Indonesia. So now let's talk a bit about TikTok's journey in Indonesia. It hasn't been easy. So Indonesia is the sixth largest internet user in the world. Of course, China is the first one because you guys have so many people there. But TikTok came to Indonesia on September 2017, and it was TikTok's head of marketing who had said that Indonesia will be one of TikTok's main target. Maybe because we are such a large, growing country, we are also a developing country just like China, and we have a lot of middle class population. We are high spenders. We spend our money. We are high spenders. We spend our money the moment we get it, and it's obvious looking at the reasons why Indonesia would be one of TikTok's main target. And the young generation in Indonesia are actually already creative and are comfortable with oversharing on social media. And full-time jobs like Instagram influencers, YouTubers, vloggers, and bloggers have popped up and showed optimism for TikTok. I mean, TikTok knew that such cool jobs like becoming influencers and YouTubers were already getting more popular in Indonesia, and it was such a prime time for TikTok to come here basically because everybody wanted to be influencers, everybody wanted to make content and to overshare. And so that was the journey in Indonesia. So how TikTok went viral in Indonesia? TikTok first used influencers to market the app. So this created FOMO, fear of missing out, and it triggered the herd mentality or follow the crowd mentality among the youngsters. So the youngsters here in Indonesia, they are very easily curious. If there's a new trend, there's a new clothing trend, a new food trend, they are so quick to jump into the trend. They have this herd mentality where they just really want to be into the current trend and the latest trend, and yeah, they just want to be So this was why TikTok's first campaign was so effective because they used all the famous influencers in the country, the influencers from Instagram and YouTube to market the app, and so the app really went viral in Indonesia during the pandemic. And as of January 2022, 66% of TikTok's audience in Indonesia is female and 34% is male. So there's more disparity between the female and male audience, but there's still a huge amount of male audience on TikTok. Like you wouldn't have any trouble finding the male audience just because they're 34% instead of 66%. But yeah, that's about how TikTok went viral in Indonesia. So now that we know how TikTok is so viral in Indonesia and how everybody's using TikTok and how the ones who are using TikTok are spending more and spending more often, why should you win the Indonesian TikTok market? And the reason is actually just quite simple. Your audience is there. So 60% of TikTok Indonesia's audience is 13 to 24 years old, and 26% is 25 to 54 years old. And there's a high chance that you're selling a product that is aiming for at least one of these targets. So if you're targeting the Gen Z or millennial audience, you should really consider going to TikTok in Indonesia because the youngsters here are spending their time on TikTok. They're not as much as on other platforms. And so if you want to sell your product, go to where their attention goes. Just approach them to where their attention is. These are some more reasons about why you should win the Indonesian TikTok market. So, of course, the first reason is that all potential customers are there. Since the pandemic, Indonesians really like to use TikTok to consume and find content that they like. So it's really important for you as a brand to exist in that space and let your customers know how to buy your products, basically, and what your product is. You should. There's an old saying in marketing: just go wherever the attention is, and that's especially true here. So if the attention for all Indonesians, your potential Indonesian customers, are on TikTok, of course you should go to TikTok to meet them and explain them about your product and tell them how to buy your product. And the second point is that TikTokers are shoppers. And this is such an interesting insight here in Indonesia. I said this before, how 70% of TikTok users in Indonesia have just bought something online in the last 7 days. And this is so beneficial for your brand's products because it means that the Indonesian market, the Indonesian TikTok users spend a lot. We spend often. Like, imagine buying something online in the last 7 days, every 7 days, every week. So, the average Indonesian just bought everything, like from clothing to house appliances. And we just love to spend to buy things online. I think this is some commonalities that I'm pretty sure that the audience in China could understand as well. We love online shopping, and we have a lot of double-digit shopping as well. I don't know how to say it you guys have it in China. So every, like, for example, the 9th of the 7th of July, the 8th of August. So like 8, 9, 9, 10, 10, 11, 11, 12, 12. We have that as well in Indonesia, and we love to shop during those dates as well. And so it pretty much points out about how Indonesians are shoppers, and we love to shop. And we love it when we have discounts, and we love it when we have, cheaper and affordable products. And those are usually the products that are on TikTok. And so, yeah, it's really beneficial for you to go where the audience are. And it's really beneficial how in Indonesian TikTok, the most users are shoppers, basically. And the third reason is that we are a very tight community. So the TikTok user community in Indonesia is so tight. Like, when something goes viral or there's a new trend that goes around, everybody talks about it. We have sort of our own inside joke about the trend, and we talk about the trend among the youngsters, something that the older generation might not understand because they're not using TikTok. So if you can get your brand to go viral on TikTok here in Indonesia, it's so beneficial because basically you have this tight-knit community that's talking about you, that's sharing your product and talking about your product with their friends and family. Okay, so here is a case study of a brand that my agency handles. It's called Zalmon Fabric. It's written here Zalmon Organic, but yeah, it's Zalmon Fabric. It gets confusing. So basically, Zalmon Fabric is a supplier of fabric in Indonesia. They're a factory, so they produce fabric. And so the challenge was, how do you make a factory viral on TikTok? It's such an interesting concept, like usually the ones that are viral are interesting products or unique products. But how do you make a factory, with all the machinery and all the products go viral on TikTok? How do you make the younger generation care about the factories and, even want to purchase something from the factory? And so that was our challenge, how to make the factory goes viral. But we have successfully made the brand go viral. So we made a video that reached about 2 million views. And when this video reached 2 million views, the number of inquiries, the number of customers who sent a message to the business has increased 10 times when the video went viral. And so that showed just how powerful TikTok is. And basically our approach was that we figured out that the younger generation in Indonesia are interested when we talk about the behind the scenes process of printing the fabric, basically, of making the fabric. And so we showed a lot of that, footage of the behind the scenes about how the factory works and how all the machinery works. So let me just play the video real quick, and we'll see, and you guys can see what the video looks like.
Dari bos kita sendiri. Awalnya kita kira ini cuma tugas.
Okay, wait, I'm just gonna pause the video a bit. So the first 3 seconds in English, it's about how the business is challenged to make a shirt that is similar to a shirt from Gucci, the famous designer brand, in just 1 week. So as a factory, they can make customized clothing. So, if you're a customer, you can just come to the business and you can just request to make your own clothing brand, for example, if you want. So in this case, it's about how someone approached this business to make a shirt that is similar to the brand Gucci in just 1 week.
biasa. Ternyata
So in
orderan
this
ini mau
video, I
dipakai sama
show
dia ke
lots
acara
of
penting
behind the
di
scenes
Jakarta.
process, you
Dan
know,
yang
how the
bikin lebih
designer is
paniknya, acaranya tuh
designing
1
the
minggu lagi,
video.
guys.
Sorry,
Karena
how
pas
the
aku
designer
pengen
is
ke media
designing
yang tipenya
the
kayak Gucci
pattern, the
gitu,
fabric
aku
pattern for the
dan tim
shirt.
putar otak buat bikin
How
pattern yang
she's looking
kelihatannya
at these
elegan.
different
Dan
pictures
untuk bahannya
and see
sendiri
which
kita
one is
pilihin bahan
best
sutra yang shiny biar
to
kelihatan
be
mahal.
put on
Tahu
the
nggak, aku bikin
shirt.
pattern ini cuma 3
And
jam.
here
Udah
she
duluan
is
gosok kalah
picking
sih.
the best fabric
Untungnya
type for
bos
the
aku
shirt.
approve dan kainnya bisa
And so
langsung
this is the
masuk
final design.
produksi. Tapi printingnya aja
We
tuh kan
make it
butuh waktu 3 hari, deg-degan sumpah.
floral,
Untungnya
and we
proses
show
printingnya lancar.
flowers
Dan
from
aku
our
langsung
country in
jahit kainnya
Indonesia.
detik itu juga.
So this is the
Di
end result,
tengah-tengah aku
how they're
ngejahit, mesinnya malah
sewing the
mati.
fabric.
Ada-ada aja ya. Tapi untungnya selesai sih guys.
Here's some more
Baju ini tuh
stories.
langsung dibawa bos aku ke Jakarta kan. Nah
And
ini
then
hasilnya. Please
the
bilang
shirt
bagus
is done.
guys.
And so
Aku
this is
capek
when the
banget.
shirt is already used. And yeah, this video basically gained 2 million views, and it was crazy. And when it went viral, the amount of chats that came into the business increased by 10 times. So that was a real life case study about how we made this brand go viral. You know, we realized that um, what really works for our audience is we show the behind the scenes process within our factory, and so we showed the behind the scenes process with behind how we make the fabric, basically about how the designer was looking at these different designs and how she chose the right type of fabric for the the clothing, basically. And yeah, this is how we made this one go viral. Okay, the next case study is from a brand called Zayana Organic. Again, this is one brand that my agency handles. And what I'd like to highlight is how crazy the exposure is on TikTok, because we're not spending any marketing, we're not spending any marketing costs. We're not spending anything on advertising and on ads. It's just purely organic content. But you can see how Zayana Organic has gained 18,000 followers, and we have 2.3 million views, and our engagement rate is 16.9%, and that's higher than average on this type of account. And so Zayana Organic, we're selling Muslim veil because Indonesia has such a large Muslim population. And so with Zayana Organic, you can see here on the next slide, if you search the hashtag, so we use a hashtag called Stay Adam, which is stay cool, basically, in English. So Stay Adam, if you search on TikTok, it has 1.2 million views. And so that's 1.2 million views that we acquire for free, basically, because we went viral on TikTok. Imagine paying advertising to reach 1.2 million views. Like, how much would that cost? But for Zayana, we paid basically $0 to achieve this kind of exposure. And I think that's the beauty thing about TikTok. Like, you don't have to spend much to get as much exposure as if you advertise. So this is one of the case study, one of the brand that we handled that really went viral on TikTok as well. So here I want to talk about a few tips to win the Indonesian market. So these are some good practices, basically, some tips about how you can win the Indonesian TikTok users here in Indonesia. So the first one is that music is so crucial here in Indonesia. We have a type of music that is so distinctive, that is popular here in Indonesia. It's called dangdut or koplo, or just remixes, basically, like a remix of different music. And here I have a video to show how, if you look at our viral tab on TikTok, most of the music that appear here are like what I've said, dangdut or koplo. Let me just play the video a bit so you can get a bit of a picture about what the music sounds like. So those types of music, they're called mostly dangdut or koplo, actually. They're very popular here in Indonesia, and it's a big part of our culture, I think. And so if your brand is looking to make content in Indonesia, you should definitely use one of these music in your content. And usually they're viral with a trend as well. Like there's a trend that goes with it, like a dance trend or a transition trend. So always look into that and see how your brand can tap into the trend. But of course, whenever you're in doubt, you can use popular music such as Monkeys Winning Monkeys or Paris. Those are some really safe music to play for your brand. It's also popular worldwide, like in the USA as well, not just in Indonesia. So that's about music. And the second tip is to use a model or content creator. So the face of the brand or the creator of the content is a big part for us Indonesians. Like, I mean, we want to see the face behind the brand. So you gotta make sure that you pick the right model or content creator that fits with your brand. And another tip from me is you can use an attractive creator or an attractive model to help with your branding and your views, basically. Because from what I've seen, attractive people attract more views. Attractive people result in more videos that have more views just in general. And so yeah, if you're looking for a model, make sure you can pick like an attractive one, and make sure it's attractive based on the Indonesian's taste, because we have different views about attractiveness basically. And so yeah, pick one that's attractive for our taste. And you can use a content creator as well. So since we have so many small, medium content creators here in Indonesia, you can work alongside with a content creator and ask him or her to create content for your brand. It should come naturally to him or her because she already create content on her own. So that could be beneficial for you as well. The next step is to create content based on the Indonesian FYP or For You page. I don't know what it's called in China, but in Indonesia, the feed on TikTok that gives you random videos, it's called For You page, FYP. And so I think this is the biggest tip for me, for you guys who are looking forward to putting your brand on TikTok here in Indonesia. Basically, you should watch lots of Indonesian TikTok videos to understand Indonesian jokes and the way we tell our stories here in Indonesia, and who the creators are here in Indonesia and more. Basically our TikTok culture. So just watch lots of Indonesian TikTok content and observe about how we package our jokes, basically how we do our storytelling, the angle of the videos that we use. And yeah, basically I think from what I've seen, I've seen lots of Chinese TikTok videos that went viral about how usually it's like a very high production video, or usually it's like a fast-paced video. Like I've seen some Chinese TikTok videos, and how the production quality is really high and it's really fast-paced. Like if it's a home living product, it could be like a funny skit and it's fast-paced, but it's quite different here in Indonesia. Like our video style isn't like that. Maybe our production quality is not that high, and also I think what I observed to be really viral here in Indonesia lately is that storytelling videos are going viral here. So people who are giving their story in voiceover form and then showing a vlog of what they do daily. That's really been going viral here in Indonesia. So the next tip is to create hashtag challenges or giveaways. Indonesians love free items and they love trying their luck and trying to win lucky draws or challenges. So you can create a hashtag challenge or create giveaways in your content, and then you can pick winners from your followers or commenters to increase your engagement. So an example of this is one brand that we handled. It's called Chandu. It's a food. Okay, here's a video of it. So it's a snack brand actually. So it's a snack brand, and at the end of every video, so the video is about like a food game about mixing different foods with the snack and seeing whether he likes it or not. But at the end of every video, we say that there's a giveaway. So if you comment on the latest video about which kind of food should we try with this brand next, we will give you free samples of the food to your house if your comment gets picked to be the next video idea. And so that's an example about how you can create giveaways or challenges to interact with your community and increase engagement. Another way of this giveaway or challenge is that maybe you can create your own challenge, for example, or your own dance challenge, and make sure other creators are using the same hashtag that you use, because Indonesians are basically we have herd mentality, curious, and we want to try our luck. I bet there's a lot of people that's gonna try to go into your challenge and try to win the item, basically. So yeah, that's the tip. And then the second one, the next one is to work with local influencers. So you can do endorsements or promotions with local influencers, because again, like I've said, people here in Indonesia, they love influencers, I think. So I think it's like that because we have that herd mentality or follow the crowd mentality. And so we love looking at influencers and seeing what they do and the products that they use. And so it's really advisable for you to work with local influencers, especially because they're so in touch with their community here in Indonesia. It's going to be beneficial for you as a brand that has just come from abroad to have this community audience in Indonesia that's talking about your brand. And it's also really beneficial for your brand because when you ask for a celebrity or an influencer in Indonesia to promote your product, you're building social proof to your product. You're telling Indonesians that, oh, other Indonesians, famous Indonesians are using this product. I must use this product as well. And it, surely will drive sales by borrowing the influencer's face, basically. So I'm going to share with you a few content creation best practices for your brand and a few tips about how you can create content that goes viral here in Indonesia. So the first one is you can share education regarding your product or problem. So for example, here is a video from a skincare brand that has gone really viral here in Indonesia. It's really big. It's called Something Official. And so what they're doing basically, let me just open the video. Okay, what they're doing basically is they're saying four mistakes that you most likely do if you have an oily skin. So that's the title. And in this video, they're talking about how you might not be using a moisturizer, even though moisturizer is so important, and you might wash your face too often. And they're giving some solutions as well. Actually, the funny thing about this video is that while they're giving us an education about what to do with our face and the best skincare practice for our face, they're also showing us how to use their product and the products that they're using as well. So that's the moisturizer. And that's a face serum, I think. And the last one is like a peeling solution. So as they give a education about their problem, about their skin problem and how they have the solution, they're also promoting their products in the background. So yeah, that's an interesting video from this brand. So yeah, you can share fun facts or information regarding your product or the problem that you're solving. I'm pretty sure, if people do have that problem, they're going to be interested in what you're going to have to say. And the next one is call to action. So at the end of every video, make sure you approach the audience and ask them to do something that you want. So here is an example of a video that I have made, that I've personally made. So in this video, I'm promoting an app, an investment app, and I start the video with some soft selling content about how you should start investing as early as you can. But what's interesting is we just skip to the end. Basically, I show the product, the brand's name, and then I tell them if you're interested, just download the brand in the App Store or Play Store. So just see at the very last frame of the video, I said, download this app now. And I think this kind of call to action is so crucial because, people are watching your video until the end. You want them to do something by the end of it. You want them to buy your product or check out your store. So make sure at the end of the video, you have a call to action, basically meaning you have something you say to them that you want them to do. Basically, for example, like, check out our store or buy our product or check out our website, etc. Okay, the next one is to create consistency in your branding and content. And so on TikTok, being consistent is so crucial for your content and for your branding. So if you want to build good branding on TikTok, you should make sure that the type of content that you post is consistent and that the feel is consistent as well. The visual and the looks are consistent. And here is an example of another brand that my agency handles. It's called Hi Pajak. It's a startup company. It's an app that calculates your taxes. And what we do this is the image on the left. So if you look at the visual, it's all pretty similar. You know, it's a person, and then there's a big title in the front, and the title is about what the video is about. And here on the right, there's also another brand. It's Zalman Fabric, and it's showing. You can see how all the content, the visual are similar, and there's a consistency in the visual. And so make sure just the content type and feel and the look is consistent with what with the branding that you want to build and with your brand as well. So the next tip is also to not put your text in the wrong section. So since TikTok has all these UI information overlaid in the video, you should be careful about where to put your text. Just be careful because it's going to be cropped at the top and then at the bottom and on the right for the comments and the likes as well. So when you're shooting your video, make sure to position your head in a strategic manner so that you can see and you can sort of predict where you want to put the text. The next tip is to not to share a static poster like this. So this is a very bad example. Like if you have a poster, don't just post the poster just like that on TikTok because it's gonna be bad for your engagement and people are not gonna watch that. This only works for like Instagram and other platforms like that. Here are a few more tips for your brand about how you can create better content. Basically, just don't shoot in landscape videos or in landscape mode. Make sure it's portrait, because if you shoot in landscape, then there's going to be black bars on the video, or you're going to have to crop the video really closely and you're going to lose all the other information on the left and right. So just make sure you're recording on vertical mode. And the second tip is not to record with bad audio or video. If you have a professional camera, that's good. If you have like an iPhone or phones that are good for TikTok videos, that's really good as well. So make sure you pay attention to the audio quality and the video quality as well. Next, we're going to talk about some case studies for some of the brands that I've handled or I've seen goes viral here in Indonesia. So the first one is a brand that's in the fashion category. So it's about trying the products on, or there's a category that's really viral called haul. So basically just buying things in bulk and buying a lot of items at the same time. So these kinds of content are really viral in Indonesia because, because we are shoppers, we are curious when people buy lots of products at the same time. Let's look at the video. So here it's called, what she's saying is that she's trying on TikTok clothes that went viral on TikTok that cost only about 30,000 Indonesian rupiah. I don't know how much that is in Chinese currency, but yeah, these are really cheap in Indonesian rupiah in our currency. So brands that have lower pricing or have cheaper pricing works really well on TikTok. And just a simple video like this, where she moves her body from left to right, it somehow really works here in Indonesia. Like it's so viral. It has like I think 1 million views minimum. And yeah, this is an example of how you don't need high quality videos or high production level videos to go viral on TikTok. Just a simple video like this can go viral. And next, we have a video from a restaurant that has went viral. And remember when I've said how vlog style videos are really getting more popular here in Indonesia? So this is an example of a vlog style video. if you look at the
Guys, pas
video,
aku lagi nunggu makanan di Komorebi, aku lihat ke
it's
samping
basically
ramai
one guy
banget, banyak abang
trying
ojol
to,
lagi pada antri.
yeah, it's
Aku tuh
basically one
penasaran,
guy
kalau
telling
restorannya
his
masih baru kayak gini,
version of his
abangnya udah
story
pada
about
nyobain
how
belum ya? Aku
he's
samperin
waiting
aja,
for his food
jawabannya
to
pada belum.
come, but then
Punya
all
abang
these
udah dijemput duluan
drivers
nih, tadinya mau dibawa
are
pulang. Sambil mereka nungguin pesanan,
queuing as
aku suruh mereka
well,
pilih yang
and then
punya
he's
aku.
interviewing the
Dicap-cip semuanya
driver,
dapetnya beda-beda
and then
nih.
they're
Menurut aku sih
tasting
ini
the
enak
food
banget.
together.
Alhamdulillah, bener kan
And
tuh,
so
pada
these
lahap
kinds of
makannya.
stories
Dapetnya
are really
beda-beda
getting
semua guys.
popular
Ada
here
yang
in
kayak
Indonesia.
crispy, ada yang daging
We
pakai
love a good
mentai. Pokoknya
story, and we
beda-beda
want to
deh.
see
Ngeliatin abangnya makan,
what the
aku jadi
story is
ikutan
about.
ngiler.
So
Makan di sini
storytelling
juga.
is really
Ternyata
working
aku
here in
kebagian yang
Indonesia.
daging guys. Udah gitu ada
And
keju
this
mozzarellanya.
person
Ini tuh
in
aku dapat
particular,
rekomendasi dari kalian
he's
tau,
so
makanya aku
gifted
samperin.
with
Aku cobain dagingnya dulu ya.
storytelling
Bismillah
content as
dulu.
well. Like
Sekarang
if
aku
you
mau
see the
nyobain pakai nasi.
angle, the
Lihat ada
video angles
packagingnya.
that
Jadi
he's
nasi
using,
sama
and
dagingnya
all
tuh
the
gak
different
disatuin.
shots that
Jujur
he's
ya guys,
using,
ini
it's just
rasanya enak
it's really
pakai
good.
banget. Yang paling
I
aku
mean,
suka
yeah, the shots
dagingnya
are
tuh
really good,
tasty banget. Udah gitu
and the way
empuk.
he edits his video as well. So this is an example about how you can create viral content, viral videos if you're selling food and stuff like that. Next, we have makeup. So with makeup, I think a lot of the content here that goes viral is transition. So video transition are really viral here in Indonesia. Let's see an example of it. So I think transition is music based, you know, depends on the music that you're using. Yeah, for example, this one, they're using a Britney Spears song, and yeah, so this is called transition, right? Where you cut one video and then move to another video with a smooth transition. And it really works for beauty products because you can really see the before, during, and after process of doing your makeup. And I think that's why transition types of videos are really popular. So if you have a makeup product, maybe you should make content that's similar to this one. So the next type of video that I think is really, really good as well is if you are in the process of packaging your order, packaging your products. I don't know why, but it's such a huge market on TikTok as well to see how other people are packaging their products. Here's an example. Let me open the video about a person trying to package their cardigan. So it's just a box basically, and then they're putting their I think it's some type of clothing. They're putting it in a box, and then they're trying to describe what other things are going to the box. I am not sure what those things are, but that's a lot of things. It includes a hair tie as well, and I think it's really interesting because we as the audience are interested about how you do your packaging as a brand and what types of free stuff that you are including in your packaging. So I think this is why these types of videos really work. Next, we have comedy. Of course, comedy still works. And for comedy, you basically have to learn about the Indonesian taste for comedy and how the things that we find funny. And so here is an example. This video is from a beauty, I think it's a beauty products distributor brand here in Indonesia. And the joke is about how his girlfriend is mad at him, but he's buying her skincare so that she would be nice to him again. And so, yeah, comedy is a bit difficult to pull off. Like, you really have to understand the Indonesian culture. So maybe you can work with an influencer or content creator, or work with a local agency to create localized content with localized strategies. Okay, next we have storytelling videos. So yeah, storytelling is really working. And with storytelling videos, you can share your story with the voiceover feature while you tell your story. You can show the visual of what you wanna show. For example, for this one, she's showing her product basically. I think it's some kind of food. And so I think yeah, she's telling her story about how she markets her product and why it really works for her. And this video went viral as well because I think people want to know about how you market your product and how do you find success in marketing your product. So with her sharing how she successfully markets her product, she's marketing her product again because this video went viral. But yeah, this is one example about how you can use storytelling to increase engagement with your audience. So next we have another example of a storytelling content. So creativity is really important when you're making storytelling content. Like you must make the content as interesting as possible. Here in this video, she's talking about how when she got into the elevator, she suddenly smells something that's off, and she thinks that it's the smell of the armpits of the people around her. And so this type of content is so interesting because it's so creative, out of the box. And this video is actually promoting a deodorant. And so it's shown how she approaches the person again, and then she sprays deodorant on the person's spits. And yeah, this type of creativity is needed basically on TikTok to go viral. And yeah, you really need to find the best way to package your story to make it as creative as possible. And you need out of the box thinking to make it not boring basically, and as interesting as possible. Here are a few more content ideas that you can use. So product reviews are always recommended. Like we are so curious about product reviews because we want to know how much the product costs and what the product does at that cost. And so reviews are still recommended. You know, if you have a brand, if you have products to sell, just review the products. And unboxing videos are still popular as well. I don't know why, but people just love to see, you know, packaging process and unboxing process. So if you have your own packaging and if your product is already packaged, you can try to unbox it and create it as a content for TikTok. And then lastly, here I've already mentioned it, but comedy still really works. Maybe if you can bring some Chinese style comedy to Indonesia, that could work as well. I don't know, I've never seen it, but I think comedy still has such a huge market here in Indonesia. That's pretty much all for my presentations.